Welcome to the Yorkshire Dales. The time has finally arrived. We're back to complete the Pennine Way. Finish what we started last year when we did the Challenger South. We're in Hardraw in the beautiful Yorkshire Dales, and this is the finish line for the Challenger South. But we're not here for that. We're here for the Challenger North, which takes in the section from here all the way to Kirk Yetholm, and it's 160 miles, 96 hours to do it in. We're going to be rained on later on, potential thunderstorms, but we're going to have fun. That is no doubt we're going to have fun. So let's see how the next few days goes. Cheers mate, see you later. We know that. Let's do it. And highlight number one, Great Shunner Fell. We are finally doing it. This has been, well, I suppose you could call it like 2 years in the making. As I've mentioned before, you may have seen the other video that I did of the Challenger South last year. Steph and I did that. It was such an amazing experience, and the moment we found out that they were going to do a Challenger North in summer, we had to sign up. So here we are, the Montane Spine Challenger North, yes, to give it its official title. And a lot has happened, a lot has changed in the last year or so, all for the good. And yeah, so glad that we're on the way. It's been a busy few days, I'll tell you that. It's been a busy few months in preparation for the event, working with the amazing Spine team and getting ready for all this. And I just thought that the running would be the easy bit, so let's find out. We're now in Swaledale, and this is a fantastic view. I mean, not this evening, but it really is. We're about to head down into Thwaite. Thwaite and I have got history. The first time I walked the Pennine Way with my good friend Chris, this is where our journey ended. So it's always nice to pass Thwaite and yeah, move further north. I was going to swear there, but I didn't. Still early. As I was saying back there, it feels so good to finally be going, finally be on the way. I'd not really felt any sort of like nerves or anything like that in the weeks leading up to this until we were in Edale yesterday morning and we saw the Challenger South set off. It brought back all those memories of like being nervous for weeks and all those sleepless nights. But yeah, thankfully I managed to keep myself really busy, which has meant that I didn't get the nerves until then. And then when we arrived in Hawes yesterday, so instead of staying on the campsite last night at CP2 Hardraw, we stayed at the Fountain Inn. Is it, Steph?
Yeah, that's right.
The Fountain Inn at Hawes. Steph very kindly booked us a hotel there so we could have a comfortable night, and huge thank you to the people there. We told them that we were doing the Challenger North and they were aware of the Spine, so I said, is there any chance we can get a late checkout? And thankfully we could. So we lazed about until around about 3 this afternoon, 2 or 3 at the hotel, and that should set us up for a reasonable night tonight, because it started at 1800 and the first checkpoint for us is CP3 in full Spine terms. That's Middleton Teesdale. It's around about 50k, and yeah, probably going to get there at about 3 in the morning. That's the plan, but we know what happens to plans. We're going to stick to it as best we can. Right, it's early in the video. I'm not going to waffle just yet. How are you feeling, Steph?
Yeah, good. Glad to be out here now, moving. And relatively dry.
There was a few nice little lightning strikes as we set off for Hardraw, wasn't there? It was almost like Phil had timed that for us. The rain arrived, and as we rounded the corner out of the checkpoint from the start there, a huge bolt of lightning struck right at the top of Great Shunnafell. How's it going, Jack?
Yeah, good. Avoided the lightning, so.
They're not doing the winter race because there's the village.
So that was the Tan Hill Inn. A little bit different to how it looked a couple of weeks ago when we were here. Absolutely beautiful conditions it was. We did a recce along here, this section here, towards God's Bridge and then back, and had a fantastic night in the camper van. The dog loved it. Yeah, a little bit different this evening. Quick water stop in the barn at the side of the inn there, adjoining the inn. Nice strong coffee, and we're out in the weather again. Let's power on to M in Tees. God's Bridge. M62 in the background there. Not M62, is it? A62. 66. Crikey, I'm tired already.
Hi Dean, how are you doing?
You know those space invaders? Oh yeah, look.
We're just leaving Lowway Farm and I feel like a new man. How long were we there for, Steph, do you think?
Probably a few hours in
2 or 3 hours in the end, something like that. We lay down for an hour, which was good. Probably got about 20 minutes sleep, which was enough to just recharge the batteries a little bit. Use the facilities, and yeah, great team at checkpoint 1 for us, but 3 on the full spine. Right, so we're going to rejoin the River Tees, head west, low force, high force, over towards Hike Up Nick, and then the next checkpoint is Alston. It's around about 7 in the morning on Monday. 8, is it, Steph? Yeah, 8, yeah, probably is.
Lost an hour.
We've lost an hour. I needed that stop there at Lowway Farm, really did. I'm going to be 100% honest. I was in a bit of a dark place for a while there, especially as we were coming down the hill into Middleton and Teesdale. I was so tired. We were walking along the road that small section there near the cattle market, and I was just falling asleep at my feet and like almost into the wall at one point. But it's all part of the adventure, I guess. Yeah, positive thoughts, positive thoughts. We've only had, like I say, 20 minutes, half an hour's sleep, so I imagine at some point today we will have a short rest in the bivvies, but not in between Cauldron Snout and Hike Up Nick, because that's a no bivvy zone because of the lack of signal on the trackers. Low force. High force. Welcome to Cauldron Snout, a particularly tricky bit, quite a technical section, but spectacular. This area has got no signal for the trackers, so the guys at Open Tracking have put the Starlink there and this little box on the side, so it pings you as you go past, and you can get on the Wi-Fi hotspot with no password. Should we go on Amazon and buy something? We are not far from Hike Up Nick now. Probably about another 40 minutes or so. I remember when I did the Pennine Way in 2019, I slept underneath that bridge for a while. The tiredness had caught up on me. Hike Up Nick, one of the geological wonders and highlights of the peak. Not Peak District, Pennine Way. There's the Lake District in the background there. Lake District is looking beautiful today. Everywhere's looking beautiful today. It's quite a long drag up, I think it's Greenfell from Dufton. There's some really sharp bits as well, but it just keeps going and going. But on a normal day, just out for a walk, fresh legs, it'd be fine. But yeah, having to push today. Great Dun Fell. Little Dun Fell. It's getting cold now. Extra mid layer, gloves and hat. Next up, Cross Fell. Steph's hallucinating. She said don't video me, but we've got to capture this. This won't be for the video. Day 2.
In the Spine House. Yeah, I can see faces on the rocks, so some things can't be unseen.
Smiley faces?
All sorts. Just anything.
I feel like I'm missing out here.
Faces. Just look around.
Yeah? It's tradition. A very brief visit to Crossfell. Beautiful evening, if not cold. And with that in mind, we're going to head to Greg's hut and put on some more layers for the night ahead. It's looking like around about 2:30 that we'll get to Alston. Looking forward to that lasagna and a sleep. And I think Steph is as well. It's pretty special. Small things. Looks like they're still doing the rendering on the outside. That roof's looking good though, isn't it?
Inside as well.
100k to Greg's hut. Right, let's get to Alston. So we're just having a discussion about these faces that Steph can see in the rock and talking about what the science might be behind hallucinations, and how all of a sudden I can see these faces. So I think we need to get to Alston quickly. How is this even a thing? Yeah. Faces. We was looking at the hillside over there back towards Greg's, and it looked like there was like a chimpanzee blowing a kiss. Then when I looked back, it had gone. So, yeah. You thought the Challenger South had a lot of rambling in. Good morning. It's around about 4:30 and we've just passed through Garrigill. So last night, I mean, some of the rubbish that we were talking, we were tired, so we thought the best plan of action would be to give HQ a call, let them know we were stopping, and bivvy at the side of the trail for a few hours, and that's what we did. About 2.5 hours, you think?
Yeah,
something like that. It's another beautiful morning. The midges are out, as you can probably tell, but we're not far out of Alston now, probably another 5k or so. Looking forward to some food, a coffee, a shower, and a couple of hours sleep there before we move on to the next section. The River South Tyne. We are almost at Alston. I'm ready for some food. Ready for a bit of a sleep as well. You may have just seen that we've been lapped. We've been overtaken by the lead spine runner, which is Dave Phillips at the moment. So they set off 12 hours before us. Actually, no, scratch that, 10 hours before us. And he's had to do an extra 108 miles on top of what we'd done. So he's not hanging around, or maybe we are hanging around. I'll let you read into that how you will.
Morning.
Morning, Alex. How's it going?
Now you've got some hot lasagna in there for breakfast.
Yeah, there's time.
It could have gone either way. I was worried it was going to seize up and just not want to move.
And we're leaving CP, what is it now, 3 to us, is it? Or is it 2 to us? CP2 to us, isn't it? CP4 in the grand scheme of things, Alston.
Smile. So let your curl on.
Yep, Nettle Central. Ouch, you alright?
Ouch.
Ouch. If you're seeing this bit of the video, then we left the slip in. But yeah, my intention was to just pan across there. Ooh, look at that, beautiful. But no.
Pen off
All
here
good,
instead.
all good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit your pan right on that. How was Blenkinsop Common, Steph?
Soppy.
Soppy. That's probably why they call it Blenkinsop. So we're not far from Greenhead now, about 3k, something like that. We're going to drop down off the moor. It's a short section along a track. Then we'll go over the road, forgot what it's called, and then we'll go to Greenhead. It's been a really good day so far, although from my memory of the Pennine Way when I've walked it in the past, this section here from Alston to Greenhead is probably one of my least favourite days. I don't know why I want to say that, but without saying, yeah, it's a bit unremarkable at times. But over the last like 5-6 hours, something like that, we've just head down, smashed it out the way, had my headphones in, and we've just marched north. But it's soon to get better. I think because it's in between things like Cross Fell and then Hadrian's Wall, this little bit here is kind of forgotten because, well, it's not a UNESCO World Heritage Site, let's put it that way. And here we are, arriving at the road which I still don't know the name of, but we're almost at Greenhead. Time to dice with death on the A summit. What is it, Steph? You worked in HQ, you should know it. A60 something, yeah.
Oh, cute.
We're heading around to Wartown now, where there'll be a safety team to greet runners as they pass through. And there's some toilets there as well. And is there a bus stop or something, Steph?
I think some sort of shelter.
Yeah, so we'll take the weight off for 20 minutes, something like that. Put the feet up, air the socks out. We just met Kathy over the railway line there as well as we came off the golf course. She's an avid dot watcher and she's been cheering everyone on as they've come past. Next year, Kathy, sign up.
This is a hill, isn't it?
It really is a hill. Yeah. Time for a quick bivvy for half an hour to get out of the way of the midges. We're on the road again. It was midge central. There was no breeze at all, so yeah, I think we lay in the bivvies for about half an hour. Didn't really get much sleep, but a small moment of shut-eye will buy us a little bit more time later on. Sycamore Gap. So it's bivvy time. We've just passed Sycamore Gap. It's around about 2 in the morning. So we thought we'd have an hour and a half, 2 hours sleep, something like that, until the daylight arrives. Going well.
Yeah.
We've made good progress. Even though things just seem to take forever, we're making good progress. Right, sleep time. Welcome back. It's now around about 6 AM, Steph, do you think? 7, something like that. And we bivvied just east of Sycamore Gap on Hadrian's Wall last night. Reasonable sleep, maybe for about an hour, something like that. Although I woke up cold and had to put my waterproof trousers on to stop the breeze coming through. We intentionally bivvied in the breeze because, well, it's that time of year, isn't it? Midge Central. At Walltown, that was Midge Central. Hopefully the video came out okay of me battening down the hatches whilst in the bivvy there. So we're heading north. I mean, that's what we've been doing for the last few days. Steph has very kindly patched me up. I didn't realise until about 10-15 minutes ago that I've got blisters on the top of my feet. Never suffered from blisters ever in my walking days. I'm not sure if you've guessed already, but I'm more of a walker than a runner. Yeah, never suffered with it. In my previous job, I used to wear like boots all the time for work, so I'd consider myself as having quite tough feet, but not on the top. These Saucony Exodus Ultra 2s have been like a cheese grater on the top of my feet. Too much information, sorry about that. But either way, Steph's patched me up and we are back on the road. Well, this is it. This is the forest that was once a muddy quagmire. This particular section here, as you drop off the track, we've just come over the moor there, joined the road, and then we're about to drop off the road again after 20 meters or so. But yeah, this was very muddy, I remember. So easy now. We did a recce of this section about 2 weeks ago actually. Stayed in the van at Walk. It's probably not how you pronounce it. I'll get shot for pronunciation, but them's the breaks. Hornisteed Farm across the valley there. That's a sight for sore thighs. Here it is, Hornisteed Farm, a spine race and Pennine Way legend. We're heading out of Hornisteed now, and the plan was just to stay for a quick moment to take off the coat and repack the bag, but Helen came out. It was an absolute pleasure to finally meet her. Her husband was there as well. When I walked the Pennine Way, I called him but no one was there, and at the recce we didn't get the chance to meet her. So yeah, she's an absolute spine legend and Pennine Way legend as well. Almost there. I'll tell you something. Those last 7 or 8 kilometres from Hornisteed, I went to a dark place. So glad that we're here. Absolutely shattered. But we'll have a few hours sleep and then we'll get on the road again, because that's what you have to do to get stuff done. I'm feeling all right, thank you. How's it going? On the road again. Let's do this. Final push to the finish from Bellingham. I'm taped up, I'm caffeined up, I'm ready to do it. The River North Tyne in Bellingham. Feels like we were here just 2 weeks ago. You were, Marty, you were. It's the final push. Let's head to Scotland. What a beautiful evening. It's quite warm, it's a decent breeze, but right in the distance there is the Cheviot and the Border Ridge. It's getting ever closer. We're almost into the forest now. We've just got this dip and then a climb to do. This moorland section is quite nice actually, but it's quite hard going at times with all the heather roots and things, and a lot of it's hidden. But we're making decent time, so quite pleased about that. The weather is absolutely stunning. There's a nice breeze to keep the wee beasties at bay. Midgie.
Well, you've got one, but you haven't pulled it down. So. Trish.
Yeah.
Smile quick, before you grimace. You've got your lid. The Northern Road minibus has stopped at the church.
Scatter. See ya. See you later. Right, work that time, thank you. What a beautiful morning it is now. Okay, we slept for 45 minutes at the church in Burness. Got there around about, well, 12 o'clock, midnight, something like that. And we got on the way again at 1 o'clock. So we've been on the move pretty much since 1 o'clock until we got to Hut 1. And we decided at that point, that was always the plan, that we'd bivvy there for a while and recharge for the final stretch. So Hut 1 is around about 10 miles, 16 kilometers from Burness. And yeah, that was a much needed bivvy. I think I slept for about an hour and 15 minutes, something like that, but I needed it, definitely. I was like stumbling and went to a really dark place for a while, which is probably why I didn't really talk at all on that stretch. Just couldn't stay awake, but the plan was to get there, so we got there. But I could have quite happily just lay at the side of the trail and slept anywhere. But as I say, it's a beautiful day in the Cheviots, perfect for a nice wander over Windy Gyle towards the Cheviot itself, and then down into Kirk Yetholm. Let's get this done, shall we? Flagstones. Next stop, Windy Gyle. We made it. Obviously, have to touch the trig. Loving life?
I am now.
Whoa. that was close. Here we are at the turn-off. Well, the continuation, that I suppose is the turn-off if we're talking in Pennine Way terms. We're not going to do the Cheviots summit today, running low on water supply, so we're going to head straight down. We've got like 3 hours to spare, so there is time to do it, but yeah, probably not wise on a day like today. It's really warm. What a day. Hot 2 in the distance there. It's quite a sharp descent, that. It's one of those descents that exposes any weaknesses in your feet. I'm not sure if I videoed the extent of my blisters the other day. Probably a good thing, actually. I took some pictures, but yeah. The medic that take them up, Alex, did a really good job actually, so they've held out quite nicely. There are a few hot spots forming now, but we're nearly there, so yeah, looking forward to maybe taking the weight off for a minute or two at the hut and then continue on.
This is a bit for what you've put yourself through.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Shill time. It's too late in the day for styles, I think. Gates all the way. Thank you. We are so close. Under 2 kilometres. Just this small hill to get over now. Ready for a drink when I get there. I've run out of water. I was going to filter some in the river as you meet it when you come off the hill, but there's a dead sheep, so I'm glad that I gave that one a miss. But we've got a pint waiting for us when we get there. Thanks, Nikki. We've started hallucinating again. So we've progressed from seeing faces in stones and things like that. We now see it in sheep poo. Well, I don't care what anyone says. That road has got, the hill has got steeper since the recce and the winter spine when I was here. All downhill from here, 1 kilometre to Kirk Yetholm, the end, northern terminus of the Pennine Way. Every day I'm shuffling. I'll tell you something, I mean, I've already told you. There's been a few moments where I didn't think we'd make it to this point, but we are here, and I'm quite happy about that. I'll run the last bit, make it look like I've run the whole thing, even though people can see on the trackers that our average pace wouldn't dictate that we'd run it, but still. Here we are, running down to Kirk Yetholm, across the village green, through the Finnish arch, touch the wall, pint. It helped visualising it. In one of the recce videos that we did, I mentioned the very same thing, running across the village green. and how it's going to feel. And it's going to feel like this. Come on, Steph! T-shirt's riding up. Yep, that way.
Well done, guys.
Ladies first.
Yay! Oh my word.
We've got medals for you here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry, I'm too short.
Right, well, first of all, congratulations to both of you on finishing the Montane Spine Challenger North of 2023 in what have been absolutely brutal conditions. Now, one of the questions we normally ask people coming together is, did you meet on the trail, and when did you start running together?
It's just literally coming down that hill, Kevin, to be honest.
No, right, okay. Well, what were the highlights of being out there?
All the teams. Checkpoint, media, logistics, medics, everyone. It's been an absolutely amazing experience.
Just the views as well. Obviously the teams, because they're amazing, but just some of the views. We've got sunrises, sunsets.
If you could just pocket one view, just take one view, you can answer this in a minute. But what would yours be? You've got more time.
I think we're going to give the same answer. Hadrian's Wall, beautiful sunrise. Yeah.
And when you've actually had, you know, a dip or something, as we all do in these sort of things, what was your go-to treat to actually perk you up?
Mars bar.
What do you, in this weather, were you drinking a Mars bar?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
And stuff.
I actually, from the New Zealand shop in London, ordered some shapes, which are like a cracker type thing, and they were absolutely ideal when we were feeling down. So.
Just a couple more questions. You know, you were out for 4 nights, and I guess the weather was quite changeable in different in those nights. Okay. What a lot of people have no idea what it's like to run in the dark. So, what's it like to run in the dark on the Pennine Way?
Quite interesting. I think I struggled a little bit in the dark time, so we tried to plan it that we'd bivvy for an hour or so just to like have a bit of a reset. But yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, same. To be honest, really tough, and that's when some of the weird things start creeping in, and you realise you've not had enough sleep.
Like the hallucinations.
Yeah.
Right, now you brought it up. I wasn't going to mention it, but now you brought it up. What hallucinations? What did you see because of the sleep monsters?
The weirdest thing for me was every single rock had a face. It might have been an animal, it might have been a weird ghosty face, but they were just everywhere.
I thought she was making it up, but when she actually described it, I started seeing them as well. So.
Oh, wow.
And we've just been seeing them in like sheep poo as well, which is
It's very impressionable, Dean.
Final question, if you could give, and again, Dee, start with you. If you could give one bit of advice to anyone who was thinking, aspiring to do the Challenger North, what would it be?
just sign up. Just do it. It's an amazing part of the course. Crossfell, the Roman Wall, Hadrian's Wall, and then coming over the Cheviots. It's just spectacular.
And Steph?
Yeah, I think preparing for those nights and just how you're going to manage yourself through those, because that's the big difference, I think, between the south and the north.
Right.
You're probably, no matter how fast you are, going to have to go through quite a bit of night time. So.
Well, thanks for answering that at the end of what's been really tough. Before we give you a final round of applause, we've got probably one of the best things, better than the medals right now.
No one else got this.
2 pints of beer.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you, perfect.
You're in the cabin today, what's happened?
Thursday.
That's the Thursday.
Where's Dean going? Where's the shop man?
Could be that on.
Come on, Ryan. And the Montane Summer Spine Races 2023 are finished. The vans are unpacked, I'm back at the office, the kit is in the racking, and that's it for another 6 months. What an amazing event it was. I think it's a week now since we finished, and my feet are in decent condition. They're recovering well. What can I say? It was one of the best and perhaps the hardest thing I've ever done, and I thoroughly enjoyed every last bit of it. I mean, there were a few dark points along the way, but that's just the way it is, isn't it? I hope watching this video you realise that I'm not an ultra runner. I'm more of a hiker. So if you're a hiker and you fancy a few days out on the Pennine Way with all your baggage being moved, your accommodation provided, food as well. I mean, people pay for 2-week trips along the Pennine Way. It's very similar, but you have to do it a little bit quicker. As always, thank you for watching. Links for everything that I've mentioned in the description of the video, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.